Well, I don't want to say our season's ended because I believe we have an opportunity. We didn't help ourselves today, but there's a lot of things that could happen around the country that someone may feel we're worthy of getting in. I won't apologize if we do get in. I think this team today was a microcosm of what our season's been about. It's a group of guys that have fought extremely hard, but we've just done some things to get in our own way. And the ninth inning was probably an example of what we've had to live with all year long. And it's a group of guys that have the will to win. They want to win for this university. They know the uphill battle we've had over the last 3 years. I'm proud of them coming to the SEC tournament. It's just at times the game got going a little too fast for us, and it's a young group. We will return probably 85 to 90% of our team, so we will be back here. This was a big step for this program. I don't want to minimize that. It's a huge step, and some of our players, even though we have an earlier exit than we would have liked, it's important that our players got a feel of practice on this field, playing on this field, and the fact that it wasn't done by design, but Hunter Martin goes out and goes 3 innings, Kyle goes 4+ innings, and both those guys are going to be key contributors to our rotation next year.
At this time, we'll go ahead and open the floor for questions. We do have floor mics on both sides of the room. If you have a question, please raise your hand and give us just a second to get the mic to you. Let's start here on the second row.
Taylor, just as Coach Serrano talked about this, so many close losses this year and so many heartbreakers at the end. Just what was this kind of a microcosm of the season, this final inning and this final game of this tournament?
Yeah, unfortunately it was. I didn't pull through today. We've played a lot of close ball games this whole season, and it's kind of been our hitch there. We sometimes haven't been able to get it done. So another close game, and just didn't pull through.
Other questions for the Tennessee student athletes? Front row on the end.
For the pitcher, Serrano, more walks and hits, effectively wild maybe. What do you think was working for you today in terms of you sort of outpitched the starter there today?
I just kind of tried to go in and pick up Hunter. He didn't exactly have his best stuff today, but I threw some pitches when I had to. That's basically all I did.
Other questions for Kyle or Taylor? Second row.
For both Kyle and Taylor, as far as the NCAA hopes, how do you guys view that? Do you guys think you deserve a bid? And if this is the end, you think you've built a foundation that future teams can build on in the program?
Taylor, you want to start?
Yeah, I absolutely think we deserve to get in. We've beat a lot of really good teams, especially in the SEC conference, and we also have lost a lot of really close games that we should have pulled through and won. Our record may not show exactly what this team has done, but I do definitely think this team's worthy of getting into the tournament. We got a dang good ball team, so it's not in our hands. It's up to them, and hopefully they see the good in our team and what we've accomplished so far.
Kyle?
Kind of just same thing as Smarty said. We have a good team, and obviously I think we deserve to get in, but it's not really in our hands. We didn't exactly help ourselves out today, but I still think we deserve a chance to get in.
Second row in the middle. Get a mic over to you. Here we go.
For Taylor, what did you see from Bueller today? You guys got to him early, but really seemed to kind of disappear in the middle frames.
He was a 2-pitch mix guy, had a pretty sharp breaking ball, but mainly fastball attack. Just kind of effective. He worked quick. It was just, I guess you just tip your hat to him. It's not what you wanted to do offensively today, but baseball doesn't care, so you got to get it done, and unfortunately we didn't. So that's the way it is.
Any other questions for Kyle or Taylor? Okay, thank you guys. You guys are welcome to head back to your dressing room. At this time, we'll go ahead and take a few questions from Coach Serrano. Let's start right here, second row.
Dave, I know you kind of alluded to it a minute ago. But when you look back at this team, looking back at going to Arizona State, winning a series, taking a series from UNLV, sweeping them, I guess what's the main thing that kind of stands out about this team? Because it's kind of been a unique team for you because you're kind of used to being in a situation where you're expected to get to Omaha. Now you're kind of building a program. And just talk about what this team this year kind of meant to you to reach all these milestones throughout the year.
Well, I've been very fortunate in the past to be part of a lot of great programs, but building this program back up in the city of Knoxville for this university is as intriguing of any job I've had. It hasn't been easy. It's been very difficult at times, but at the end of the day, one day soon we're going to look back and realize what we overcame to get this program back to near the top or the top in the best conference in the country. It isn't easy. We feel we're getting better, but everyone else is getting better too, and I'm realistic about that. We took a step this year, and I'm proud of our guys for that. Nobody knows unless you're in the locker room and you're in the clubhouse and the team room every day and on the field with these guys, how much of the weight of the world was lifted off their shoulders for being the first team in the last 7 years to be able to accomplish coming to the SEC tournament. And I don't want to take away the fact, even though we were the 11th seed, we got to the tournament, and that will never be taken away from us. This is a good league with a lot of great coaches and a lot of great players. And I learned a lot this year, and I think the players that will return next year learned a lot too, that everything matters. The littlest things matter, and it could be any little thing, and it's going to cost you in this league. And I'm learning every day, and I hope our players are too, because I'm pretty confident of the direction we're going, and we will be back here. And that was what was so satisfying about playing in this game today. We wanted to play on. But we'll remember how to get here, and now we'll have to take care of more business next time we get here.
Come back to the middle. Go ahead.
Coach, obviously Fulmer has been pretty solid all year, but you guys got to him in Knoxville. How confident were you going into that ninth inning that you were going to be able to scrape a run across and keep playing?
Well, if you want me to be honest with you, I wasn't feeling real confident. He's one of the best pitchers in the country. I've talked to some coaches around the league who he's just faced as a starter and how dominant he is and how he just keeps coming at you. And he had an opportunity to just get 3 outs for us, and he showed a lot of excitement at the end, and he's deserving of that. I mean, he pitched out of that jam right there. We kind of helped him a little bit, but he's fun to watch. I mean, he's pretty special. It's a special arm with a good breaking ball. And I felt confident when Cizelle got into that ball and hit the double down the line, but I knew we were still going to have to do something. He or Vanderbilt were not going to give us an opportunity just to take that game away from or tie it up. And unfortunately for our guys, we weren't able to do the right things at the right time to at least tie that game.
Second row, right side.
Nick had another big game. He had 3 hits. Just talk about the future for him and where his ultimate ceiling is.
Well, Nick's a special player. We're very fortunate to have him. It was a weird road for him to get here to Knoxville, even though he grew up 15 minutes from campus. I don't need to go into how it ended up happening to him getting here, but he's one of many young players that we feel are going to be special. They had to get over this hump of getting here, and we have a great learning tool now, teaching tool for this team and this program of what we have to do to be able to overcome the teams that are in this conference. And it like I continue to say, it's not going to be easy, but at least we have the teaching tool now of what exactly we have to do. And I'm sure we'll go back to the ground ball to third there in the 9th inning. We'll go back to when we're not stealing, getting picked off at first base. Again, it's all those little things that add up. I could go back to midweek games where we lost to teams that we shouldn't lost of, where maybe it dropped us in the RPI. Every single thing counts, and hopefully our young guys are learning that the hard way, to be honest with you.
We'll take these last 2 questions for Coach. Start on the front row. These will be the last 2 for Coach Serrano.
Top third of the order had trouble today, seemed like, and everybody else was on. Can you talk about, do you see a different approach from them, or just had trouble with Walker?
We just couldn't get in rhythm offensively. Buehler obviously was pretty good. I know in his last 2 outings he hasn't been that good. I think one was against Louisville, who is a very good team. His numbers weren't quite as good, but I think he came into the season at 90 innings and had a pretty good record. So it wasn't like they just threw your typical midweek guy. I mean, that's where you have to tip your hat to Vanderbilt. I've said from day one, they probably have the best pitching staff in America. And Bueller would pitch on probably most, if not every team in the SEC's weekend rotation. So we knew we were going to have our hands full with him, and I thought he did a good job, and he shut our guys down. And when you shut down the top of our order, it's hard for us to get something going. That's why we couldn't get any rhythm going, because he did do a great job against Price, Maddox, and Stewart.
This will be our final question. Second row.
I just wanted to ask about that play at third. I didn't get a chance to see the replay, but was it just one of those 1 in a million shots where the ball's placed at the right place, or was he too far off the bag for that situation?
For that situation, he was too far off the bag. I wouldn't go as far to say that they got lucky. It was 1 in a million. It was a smart play by Turner at third, and it was unfortunately not an intelligent play by Senzel. It's growing pains. It's learning. Unfortunately, a lot of people look back and think that that's the play that cost us the game, but I'm not one of those people that look at that. There's a lot of things that build up over the course of a 9-inning game. There's a lot of things that build up over the course of a full season that leads to that, and that's where I go to the microcosm of our whole season. It probably surprises a lot of people in here, but the people that have worn the orange uniform this year, we've seen that kind of stuff, and it's the kind of stuff that if we want to be as good as we want to be, those are the kind of things that we've got to get out of our program and be more intelligent and be able to get things done when we have to.
Thank you, Coach.